Welcome back out to the banks of the Mackenzie. I'm Tobin. Should have started shaving a little while ago, but I kind of like that the sun is beginning to set, or has probably already set, and I'm entering what we call nautical twilight, just the twilight, because nautical would be water, right? Well, there's water, so it's kind of nautical twilight, right? Room 237 from First Line Shave is why I'm out here. Well, I'm out here for a hike, but I'm also out here for a shave and a review. Oh. Talk about that more a little bit in just a second. Talk about time flying. My Hendrix Classics & Co. stainless steel bowl. Sawdust Creations tuxedo knot. This is my 76th outdoor shave, and when I upload this video, it will be my 200th video on this YouTube channel. I can't believe it. I can't believe that I've already, seen 100 videos come and pass. I want to thank all you guys for all your support throughout all of them. I've been having the time of my life, and I absolutely mean that, creating this content. It is a ton of fun. I might have just put too much water in there. We'll find out here in a second. I think this will do a pretty good job, though, of drinking it up. This is First Line Shave's 3.1 base, and it's fairly thirsty. It's not the thirstiest, but it is thirsty, like most of our modern bases today. Let's go over the top notes real quick, or let's just go over the notes in general, because there's only one top note, and that is plum. In the heart, the middle, we find wheat, like the grass, that grows and we make bread out of. Wheat. In the base, the bottom, we have vanilla, Tulu balsam, and cedar. This is an homage to Single Malt by Kilian. Not too long ago, if you saw the first impressions, thank you. Not too long ago, I did a review of one of two fragrances that I own from Murphy and McNeil, and that's Bill, who is the artisan over there, the owner of the store. He also did a homage to Single Malt, and his is called Old Bush Malt. So if any of this sounds familiar, that's because not too long ago from the Den, I did a review of that, and that is the soap that Bill sent. So Bill gave me a set to give away, and that's the one with the synthetic cooling agent in it. Just last week, I did a review of Cosmic Gentleman from Hendrix Classics & Co. That is a dupe of Parfum de Marly's Carlisle. To your left, my right, I have a mirror. No Luna today. I'm out here alone. All by my alone. Well, I'm not alone. I got you with me. Thanks for joining me, guys. And then, previous to that, if you follow my channel, you know that I also did a review of Origins from First Line Shave, and that is the same artisan that did this. So this is the second soap that Michael has sent me. First was Origins. That was the first review I ever did for him. Thanks again, Michael. I can't say thank you enough. Recording will be stopped and saved when you answer a call. Am I getting a call? 2 seconds. I'm back. Hold still. I have you hanging from a tree. You'll see that in the B-roll. Jerry Plessy called me, the Shave Dad. Hey, Jerry, how you doing? Can't answer, my friend. I'm recording a video, but I'll give you a shout out. Shout. What was I saying? I was talking about Cosmic Gentleman Origins. So I did a review of Origins, homage to Carlisle from Parfum de Marly 6-8 months ago. And then I recently did a review of Cosmic Gentleman from HC&C, Parfum de Marly's Carlisle. In that, I talked about the differences between Origins and Cosmic Gentleman. I also want to do that with this here. I have never tried Single Malt from Kilian, so my only other reference point would be Old Bush Malt, which I love. If you've seen the review of that, that is the first set that I had ever owned. It was actually a gift from a fellow wet shaver, John Kearney. Thanks again, John. Love you, brother. Hope you're doing well. AKA Santa Claus, because of the red beard. I don't know about this tree branch here, but I've had plenty of soap samples and still do have samples from Murphy and McNeil. That was my first ever experience of Murphy and McNeil. And so if you've seen my review of that, or if you've heard me talk about it, you know I love it. Room 237, gorgeous. A vintage Merkur 37c. My modern 37c that I used in my Abe review, I believe. Decided I'd go through my favorite or most of my slants in general. So today, for the first time ever on video, I brought out my vintage Merkur 37c. The difference between the two when it comes to the way they shave is the gap is slightly larger on the vintage, and then also on the modern you have the scallops on the top cap. No scallops up here. I'm not going to talk about the differences anymore. There's a couple more subtle ones. Back to the fragrance though. As you may know, when I do these reviews, I implore the help of my wife and daughter, Alexis and Emily. Thank you, ladies. I love you. And so they both love Bush Malt as well, and they love this just as much. The difference is that the three of us have picked out. I've worn this 4 days as a fragrance, doing my little testy test right on the back of my hands. And then this is now my 4th shave with it. My goal with all these reviews is to get 3 to 5 shaves in prior to doing the review. And so I've had 3 shaves, 4 lathers. This would be my 4th shave, 5th time lathering it. The fragrances are identical. If you did not know that, virtually identical. I'll talk about the differences in a second. If you did not know that they were different, like if you smelled them right apart, you probably wouldn't pick it out. The one thing that we were able to distinguish by having one on the back of my left hand, which was Murphy & McNeil Old Bush Malt, and then having Room 237 on the back of my right arm up in here. Let me put a little bit more water in my rinse bowl. When you first, and we're gonna, I have the EDP. I saw that on Instagram. I have the trifecta of Room 237. I do not have the EDP of Old Bush Malt, but I do have the soap and splash of both. So we were comparing splashes. On my left hand, Bush Malt, right hand, Room 237. What the three of us agreed upon is when you first apply Room 237, it is boozier. And that is because the plum in this is not like the plum in Plum Doppelganger by Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. And it's not your typical plum scent in general. It is a drunken plum, not a dry gourmand. You saw my Louis review. I shouldn't have gone there. It is a drunken plum. Beautiful backdrop, eh? Beautiful lather. Can you guys see this in this lighting? I did want to do this without direct light, just kind of give it a spooky feel, because Room 237 is an homage to Stephen King's The Shining. More appropriately, it is a homage to Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. Talk about that in just a second. Back to the differences between Bush Malt and this. So Room 237 starts out a little boozier. After just a few minutes, though, that extra booziness fades and it becomes very much in line with Bush Malt. From there, the only real difference that could be picked out that we found after a few days of the three of us actually, playing with this and reapplying and actually playing with it and experimenting was that Bush malt could be said to be warmer. And then the only real difference that the three of us were able to pick out and truly agree upon is that 237 was slightly spicier. This isn't a spicy fragrance. You start out in the top with that drunken plum. Beautiful, very inviting booziness to it. Not over the top boozy. If you're not a big fan of booziness, don't let that turn you off. This is not a big boozy punch. It is a subtle boozy. Does that make sense? It didn't really make sense when I said it out loud. One of the things what makes it subtle is then we run into the wheat. Wheat as a fragrance, and I haven't spoke with Michael, and I've of course never spoken with Kilian or Bill about this either. In my opinion, the wheat, think like cereal, right? The grain. That's what this is like a modifier. It's almost absorbing it. It's bringing a softness, a warm, nutty softness to it. I like that. A warm, nutty softness. And it's kind of absorbing that booziness. That rolls us into the vanilla. The vanilla is very mild in this. It is a beautiful vanilla. Not feminine in any regards. I could see some women pulling this fragrance off, but overall, I'd say that this fragrance leans masculine. My wife and daughter absolutely love this fragrance, as do I, and I'm so glad I got the EDP, and I still want to get the EDP of Bush Malt. Not anything against Room 237, but that's how much I love this fragrance. And Kilian single malt, like a lot of designer fragrances, is super expensive. It's pricey. Tulu Balsam is a tree, put a couple photos right up here, that grows primarily in South America, starting in like southern Mexico, and then down into the southern Americas, and also the West Indies. They take the resin, like we do with a lot of trees, and that's where the fragrance is coming from, is the Tulu Balsam resin. I'll put a photo of the resin right up there. Like a lot of tree resins, it's bringing a woodiness to it, but a Tulu Balsam is bringing a very dark woodiness, a balsamic sweetness to it. The dry down on the splash of Room 237, the fragrance itself, you will get 8 to 12 hours of wear out of it. The projection is never very strong. I give it an average when it comes to projection, meaning how far away you can smell it when you first put it on. That projection, of course, dies down, and you can get 8 to 12 hours of wear out of the fragrance itself. That dry down, the vanilla, balsam, and the cedar that we run into at the bottom is just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I got a couple compliments at work on Thursday wearing this fragrance. I was wearing the splash on the right hand, Bush Malt on the left, and then on the back of my neck I had applied the EDP, and then I had a couple other fragrances on my arm because I'm a freak. How I would describe this fragrance overall is a boozy, sweet, woody fragrance. The woodiness really shines in that dry down. Try not to block the river. You guys are here for the river, not my ugly mug, right? There's a diesel. Not too many trucks travel this road. I wonder where they're going. Anywho, that is the McKenzie River behind me. I said that right. I love the 37c. I also have a vintage 39c. The only difference being is the 39c is heavier with a longer handle. Same exact head. This is an homage to Stephen King's The Shining, and Room 237 and the Overlook Hotel is where Michael Riley, the artisan at First Line Shave, wants to take us. I am a huge Stephen King fan. I enjoy the work of Stanley Kubrick. Room 237 is in the movie, not the book. In the book, it is room 217. I had originally wanted to do this review from the Overlook Hotel, which is actually Timberline Lodge up by Portland at the base of Mount Hood. I will eventually get there, just like that spot that I talked about when I was doing Eastwood in Corvallis. A couple other differences that stand out. So on this label, we have, in the movie, it's the Grady twins. And so since this is an homage to the movie, that is the Grady twins. They're 12-year-old twins. Their names are Alexa and Lexi. In the book, they're not twins. They're sisters, ages 8 and 10, with the same name. Let me grab my towel. I love Stanley Kubrick's film. Stephen King, I love the film. I've seen it probably 10 or 20 times. That's not an exaggeration, maybe more. Our daughter fell in love with it, and I watched it a bunch of times with her. There is a sequel written by Stephen King called Dr. Sleep, and that was made into a movie a few years ago. If you haven't seen Dr. Sleep and you really enjoy Stephen King's work or the movie by Kubrick, I do recommend Dr. Sleep. Ready for a couple of spoilers? If you don't want spoilers for the book, stop listening. Stop watching. In the book, I like the ending better. There is no hedge maze in the book. The hedges actually come to life, but that's neither here nor there. And he dies down in the boiler room. Somewhere, a place that I think that Kubrick really missed out on, and part of it, is just the limitations. The movie took place, the book takes place in the 70s. Filmed in 1980, released in 1980 rather. It was King's third book and his first movie. And he wasn't happy with some of the changes that Kubrick made, but that didn't stop Kubrick from making an absolute masterpiece. And I like it sometimes when a book or a movie doesn't exactly follow the book, because it leaves you guessing. And if you see the movie first, well then it just makes reading the book full of surprises. And if you've only seen the movie, the book will be full of surprises. But Danny's powers, the shining, Danny's supernatural powers are the shine. He has the shining. And Dick Halloran, the cook, he also has the shine, but not as powerful as Danny. Danny's powers are super strong. The alum stick from PAA. You can always tell when you're reading comments, or at least I can, when you're reading comments on YouTube and other places, by who has read the book and who has seen the movie and who has seen both. Especially like when it at the end of the movie, it shows the very final scene. It shows Jack Nicholson's character, Jack Torrance, in the ballroom in that black and white photo, and he's there at the center of it. The hotel wanted Danny. Because of his powers. I've seen people talk about, oh, Jack is reincarnated, blah, blah, blah. No, he's not reincarnated. I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but the hotel was truly after him. And I won't give away any other spoilers. I wrote down some differences, but I think notes to remind myself of. But one thing that's super cool is the girls were played by the Burns sisters. They're now 55 years old. Put a photo of them right up there. In the movie, the girls were played by the Burns sisters. And they actually go around and they do parties and all kinds of different things for people that, want to have like a Shining themed kind of thing. This fragrance is so amazing. I cannot recommend it enough. if you never tried Old Bush Malt and you're a fan of Stephen King's work or Stanley Kubrick's, this is a must-have. Like, absolutely. If you own Old Bush Malt and don't care for Stephen King, I'd say you don't need this. If you don't have either, you need this. The label is just absolutely killer. Michael knocked the label out of the park. Joe at Black Mountain Shave, he helped him a little bit with the label, but most of the label is all Michael. Like, I know Joe helped him get the FLS label, or emblem, logo rather, on the door right there. That label is just kick-ass, and I'll be sure to have some of my Instagram photos attached to this. Just a beautiful fragrance that will get you compliments wherever you go. You can wear it to the office, church, work, anywhere. Anywhere. It is not overly boozy at all. The booziness is only in the top, really. I mean, it kind of lingers, but as like a standout attribute, it's very short-lived. I love this, you guys. I absolutely love this fragrance. I can't recommend it enough. The 3.1 base is just absolutely killer. Look at this lather. And I know I'm losing my light here, but it is just perfect. It is perfect. The 3.1 base. I can't say enough good things about this. Like, seriously, if you don't have Kilian's Bush Malt or by Murphy and McNeil, or you know, and you never tried it, it is a must-have for any den. Blind buy it. And if nothing else, you know what? Because of this label, if you don't like it, it will resell. That's hands down. That is just a killer label. This label, this soap set will live on in wet shaving lore for the longest time. Michael killed it all the way around. The fragrance, the soap base, the post shave, everything about this. I absolutely love it and cannot recommend it enough. Sincerely. Whenever I say sincerely, I always hear Vern in the movie Stand By Me. Sincerely, guys. I sincerely love you a long time. Michael, thank you. Michael sent me the soap I paid for, the splash in EDP. I will not profit from the sale of anything in this video. So again, Michael sent me the soap for free as a gift. I purchased, he got them out to me ahead of time. That's the only, you know, favor that he did me for this review. Was I paid for them via PayPal, and then he mailed them out to me as soon as they were done. So that's how I got this early. I paid for the soap. I didn't pay for the soap. I paid for the splash in the EDP, which I did leave the EDP at home. It's good stuff, Maynard. It really freaking is. I love this fragrance. It's a must-have for any den. Did I already say that? I love you a long time. It's good stuff, Maynard. It's the little big things. Like not getting killed. Oh, I put him down, though, by an axe-wielding murderer like Jack Torrance. By the way, in the book, it's a mallet. Anywho, take care. Thanks for joining me if you're still watching. I'll see you guys real soon. I have a few videos that I need to get to in the den, plus some more reviews. Just One Right. Don't forget, there's a giveaway with that one. Cosmic Gentleman, check it out. Got one coming from PAA. I don't know if I can talk about it yet. Got a bunch of them. Damn. I'm a lucky man. I hope you're feeling blessed. I hope you have a blessed week. Thanks, guys. Take care. Welcome to the B-roll. I believe either right out there on that far rock, or right out there on that far rock is where I did the denade shave. And I do believe that where I'm standing, where I just did this shave from, or where I'm about to do the shave from, is where I did the Terry's Spicy Wood. Beautiful day out here. So quiet. Where I did Honest Abe from is also on the McKenzie, on the opposite side of the river, several miles down. I was trying to think of all the different times I've been here. I know it was Spicy Wood, and Denade and Champagne. I also did Sterling's Piacenza from here, and I believe those are all the spots. Here's where I've had you guys hanging from. Got a couple of bungees bringing my mirror and my tripod down. My stool to the left. My Louis shave, that's the only stool that I brought. That one's in the truck, but I don't always bring it out. I brought it out today just in case I wasn't sure how I was going to do this setup. But yeah, buddy, trust that the shave went well. I can't recommend this fragrance enough. I truly can't. Whether it's Old Bush Malt, Room 237, or the Real Thing. I still haven't tried the Real Thing, but man, would I love to. It's the Little Big Things. It's Sunday night. Hope you all have a great week. Thanks again, Michael Riley, for sending me the soap and for getting the Splash and EDP out to me so quickly. Love the great outdoors, and I love shaving. Talk about a match made in heaven when I come out here and bring both together. Thanks again. Take care, you guys.